Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Bailey Braun, and we're finally starting the weekend, but of course it's going to go by faster than we realized it was here. This weekend we have some cloudy skies in the forecast and temperatures much cooler than we originally anticipated. So I'll be taking you through kind of why we saw that change in temperature. So just jumping right into it, we have our photo of the day from Teresa, which has beautiful fireweed in the background. You can kind of see it a little bit behind our headlines, but ultimately we have unsettled weather for the weekend. Now I'll take you through in a few minutes what that necessarily means, but for Southeast Alaska, you're seeing brighter skies, and I know you're already seeing that today. So if you are in the Southeast region and you're watching, just leave in a comment on where you are and how the sky is looking for today. But there are some cloudy and stormy conditions coming into the western side of Alaska. So the whole reason why we're seeing this unsettled weather, especially for South Central, is because we have this low pressure system off in the Bering Sea, and that's bringing in those stormy conditions for western Alaska and the Aleutians. But we have this ridge of high pressure where South Central is, and this is supposed to be bringing in those warmer temperatures that we originally thought that we were going to have, but this high pressure system is much weaker than we anticipated. So with that being said, this high pressure system, since it's weaker, it's kind of just doing what this low pressure system and that jet stream is telling it to do. So we're seeing more conditions from the low pressure system than we are from that ridge of high pressure. So ultimately, the Aleutian Islands, you're going to be seeing some more stormy weather in this high pressure and these high winds that we're going to start to see in the next few days. But temperatures are going to start to cool down just a little bit, especially for the western side of Alaska. And even parts of the interior, you're going to start to see a slight cool down in temperature, and same with South Central, all because of this low pressure system pushing in. You can see that air mass taking over. You can see where those cooler temperatures really start to set in. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be much cooler than normal, but it's just going to be a couple degrees slightly cooler. So for the Aleutian Islands, if you're out in the islands or you're in the Alaska Peninsula, this is specific for you, because this low pressure system that you're seeing spinning off in the Bering Sea, you see all of those yellow and green lines kind of going up towards the islands. That is because with two different pressure systems, you're going to have that air circulating, and as it circulates in opposite directions, it starts to get more condensed, and when it gets more condensed, that's when you have those higher wind gusts, and that's just when it feels a little bit windier. So it's kind of interesting. If you find that interesting, I do. But that's why you're going to be feeling some windier conditions the next couple days, especially some higher wind gusts. But right now in Ketchikan, just look how sunny it is. It's so much sunnier than it normally is, and I am very excited for you in the southeast. It's pretty cool. But in Anchorage, we're starting to see an increase in those cloudy conditions, but Fairbanks is staying relatively sunny with partly cloudy skies, and even Palmer and most of Matsu, you're just seeing an increase in those clouds as well. So I just think it's kind of funny because the southeast never seems to really be in sync with the rest of the state. Whenever we have cloudy skies over here, you have sun in the southeast, so it's kind of nice. It's kind of your own little territory, and I think that's pretty cool. But looking ahead, this low pressure system is going to be bringing in more cloudy skies into western Alaska and especially the Aleutian Islands. But over in South Central, we're going to start to see some spotty areas of scattered showers. That's mostly in the afternoon, but if we do get any scattered showers in the afternoon, this is mostly for higher elevation regions, and you're really not going to see a big collection of rain at all, just a little sprinkling here and there. And I say that pretty often, but that's usually how it is with afternoon scattered showers. They're pretty unstable and they don't last very long, and they kind of just come and go as they please. So looking ahead, that's kind of what you can expect. And like I mentioned, you can hardly see any precipitation building up, but the interior is expected to see a little bit more rain coming in by Monday, with more scattered showers coming in. And the western side of Alaska, of course, you're going to start to see more rainfall as well, because you have that low pressure system bringing in the storm system. So more clouds, more rain, and more wind essentially. But Nome is getting more than half an inch of rain expected for Monday, so that's pretty impressive. But Southeast Alaska, you're expected to stay dry, so enjoy those summer conditions. Now statewide, for our low temperatures tonight, staying in the 50s pretty much everywhere in the state, with southeast staying pretty sunny. And that's because that ridge of high pressure is staying mostly tucked away in southeast Alaska. We're feeling the effects of the low pressure in south central and throughout pretty much the rest of Alaska, but southeast is far enough away from the low pressure that you're not really seeing much of those effects. So as we dive in just a little bit closer, there's those more sunny skies, mostly sunny to partly sunny skies for most of southeast Ketchikan and Skagway. You're really seeing warmer temperatures, Skagway being close to 80 degrees, which is pretty crazy. So really enjoy that sun for me these next couple of days. But for the interior, still staying fairly sunny, but you will have some clouds rolling in throughout the day, especially in the afternoon to evening hours. Temperatures staying in the mid to high 70s, staying pretty warm, but Tok is expected to reach 80, and I think Fairbanks has potential to reach 80 as well, but staying closer to those high 70s. Up in the slope, you're going to see temperatures pretty normal, but there's those higher wind gusts that you can expect to see with cloudier conditions as well. And in western Alaska, there's those clouds in the sky, there's that rain that I mentioned. You can really start to expect to see this on Sunday, and it's going to drag into Monday as well. So that's kind of what your weekend is going to start to look like. But for the Aleutians, there you go, cloudy skies, also some rainy skies as well, but some gustier winds and staying pretty windy from the air mass that I was talking about, getting that air kind of squeezed between high pressure and low pressure. That makes wind much higher for you guys. But over here in south central Kenai Peninsula, staying pretty cloudy with temperatures in the 60s. Copper River Basin is staying just a little bit sunnier than we are over here in Anchorage, with temperatures just slightly warmer. In Matsu, you're seeing temperatures in the high 60s for tomorrow, and I see that Cindy, you're in Palmer, you're going to be seeing some pretty warm conditions, nice temperatures in the high 60s with some partly sunny to mostly cloudy skies. And for Anchorage, we're seeing temperatures in the low to mid 60s with an increase in that cloud cover. So that's really what we can expect to see, especially looking into the next 7 days. Starting off our work week and ending our weekend, we're going to have some cloudier conditions, potential for scattered showers, but again, that's mostly in the afternoon to evening hours, and that's mostly relevant to higher elevation regions as well. So when I say afternoon scattered showers, it's not that we're getting afternoon buckets of rain. You know, we're just going to start to see an increase in potential to have a little bit of sprinkling here and there with some rain. But that means that you can go out and still get some stuff done throughout the day. It's just going to be cloudy, not necessarily too rainy. But over in Fairbanks, temperatures are going to stay in the mid 70s, mid to high 70s, I would say. Like I said earlier, you still have potential to reach 80 degrees because Tok does, and other areas of the interior have potential to reach 80 degrees. So it's going to be pretty warm tomorrow. Going to have an increase in scattered showers throughout the afternoon, but ultimately you're going to see a lot of sun, and you're going to see just a little bit of cloud cover rolling in as the day progresses, mostly in the afternoon time, but you know, that's never a bad thing. A nice little afternoon cool off, but I already gave you a little sneak peek into what it's looking like in Ketchikan, so I'll just send it right back over to Ketchikan. If you have any questions in the comments or anything, I'll still be here, answer any questions for you. So I hope you have a great rest of your Saturday and you jump right into a great Sunday, even though it's going to be a little bit cloudy here in South Central, and if you're in the Southeast, go enjoy that sun for me. But here is a look at what Ketchikan is looking like. Pretty sunny and pretty gorgeous, so hope everybody has a great rest of your night.